Chicago's sizable Ukrainian community keeping a nervous eye on Capitol Hill. Military aid to Ukraine set to expire mid-November, with some legislators threatening not to approve further funding. WGN's Julian Cruz reports from Ukrainian Village.
Good evening. One of Ukraine's biggest supporters, U.S. Senator Dick Durbin, meeting with community leaders today to share his concern about the prospects for military aid. U.S. Representative Jim Jordan of Ohio and others looking to cut military aid for the war between Russia and Ukraine.
The big question is, what about the House of Representatives?
U.S. Senator Dick Durbin describing the fallout.
I will not run for Speaker again.
After the stunning ouster of now former Speaker Kevin McCarthy, who long supported military aid to Ukraine.
I wouldn't raise this issue if I weren't concerned with what's going on in the U.S. House of Representatives.
Durbin at Chicago's Ukrainian Cultural Center to meet with community leaders like Pavla Pandrisky.
1% of the entire United States budget was spent in support of Ukraine.
The people in Ukraine are fighting for their lives. And if we don't stop Putin in that country, he's going to go beyond that. We've seen it over and over again.
Stop Putin now! Stop Putin now!
Ukrainians around the world and here in Chicago fearing the worst when it comes to the power struggle on Capitol Hill. Nobody more concerned about the outcome than the co-chair of the Senate Ukraine caucus, Dick Durbin.
If Donald Trump orders the House Republicans to stop the aid to Ukraine, it is going to not only endanger the future of Ukraine, but the future of the NATO alliance as well.
What about Ukraine?
Speaker McCarthy's potential replacement, Jim Jordan,
I'm against that.
long opposed to more military aid for Ukraine, which worries Durbin.
Of the United States House of Representatives is hereby declared vacant.
If U.S. Representative Jordan seizes the gavel as House Speaker, he can decide which bills get to the floor. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says that would be disastrous for his country.
He made it very clear. If United States support of Ukraine ends, they will lose the war.
If you want to learn more about the issues, visit the Ukrainian Congress Committee of America online. Log on to our website for a link. In Ukrainian Village, Julian Cruz, WGN News.